Let's be honest, nobody's marching in March. We're limping and lumbering and dragging our sorry butts towards spring, but we certainly aren't marching. I mean, sure, some of us are embracing the copious amounts of snow and bitter wind, but I think it's fair to say that most of us are over it. Personally, I'm tired of the gray. Even the bright white snow that I looked forward to in December has long outworn its welcome, kind of like a house guest that won't take the hint, even though you're yawning and pacing around with your floss in your hand. This dingy gray bathroom wasn't helping me beat the winter blahs, so I decided to add my own liquid sunshine from a paint can. I chose a warm yellow. Once I had purchased the paint, the dreadful thought of actually having to prep and paint the bathroom felt overwhelming. My energy level was low and my motivation was absent. I would have rather sat in my comfy chair with a cup of tea and crocheted, but I had already been doing that for days, and I knew for my mental well-being I had to put the crochet hook down and stand up. As unmotivated as I felt, I forced myself to do a little each day, and once I got going and started to see some progress, my motivation picked up. I still wasn't working at my usual productive pace, but I tried to be gentle and remind myself that I didn't have to rush. I could take my time and enjoy the process. I knew from experience that it wasn't helpful to be hard on myself. While I was waiting for the paint to dry in the bathroom, I decided to use some of the leftover yellow paint on a mixed media art piece. I had a basic idea of blending some pink and yellow acrylic paint for the background, and then tearing up and layering some vintage music sheets and pages from an old botany textbook and some poetry pages. I wanted to create some texture and visual interest. Then my plan was to loosely paint a rose over top of the vintage papers. Mostly I just wanted to experiment and play a bit without trying to make it too perfect. Art is a wonderful way of expressing your thoughts and feelings and just letting your ideas flow out onto your canvas. Sometimes when I'm painting, I take my time and plan out what I want to make and draw guidelines and work slowly in a more methodical manner. And other times I just sort of wing it and see what emerges. To be honest, I'm not always as happy with the results when I work more spontaneously, but there is a freedom and a joy that I experience in the process. Sometimes when I get stuck and I don't know what to paint or where to start on a painting, I'll just work on an abstract and play around with painting different shapes, making different marks, and pairing different colors. It helps me to loosen up and get moving. I try to remind myself that it's just a painting, and if I don't like how it turned out, I can always paint over it or hide it in the back of my closet with all my other practice pieces. If I like how my painting turned out, but I'm not sure anyone else will, I'll just hang it up anyway. I always say if people don't like it, they can just close their eyes. I mean, that's why God gave them eyelids. Never be afraid to display your artwork, even if it's just for you. Art is a way of expressing yourself. You have to give yourself a chance to be seen and heard. And you've got to give yourself a chance to stand back and really look at your work. See what you've created. What do you like about the piece? Is there anything you'd like to change? If you're going to ask someone to critique your work, make sure you ask someone who you respect as an artist. And be specific. Instead of saying, "Do you like this painting?" say something like, "Do I have enough contrast between light and dark to create depth?" Or, "What do you see as the focal point of this piece?" Or, "Does this perspective look off anywhere?" Eventually you'll develop an eye for things you didn't notice before. It takes practice to learn new techniques and develop skill. It also takes practice to learn resilience when your art doesn't turn out the way you envisioned it. Try again. Don't give up. That's how we improve, and that's how we grow as creators.